where PD Mayor and Mayor's Council President, Mayor Jesse Alig, is standing by. Mayor, good morning.
Good morning. Half a day, everyone.
So I understand off the bat you had something to share about the homebound. Was this homebound vaccinations or?
Yes, homebound vaccination. So
Okay.
it's important for the residents to know because at the beginning of January, Public Health had asked us to gather a list of homebound residents to submit so that they can get vaccinated. And at that point, most of us requested for a criteria as to how we're going to determine homebound, and we never really received it. We tried to keep in communication with Public Health, and most of us submitted our lists on time. Most of us submitted by January 8 our lists of homebound residents and caregivers. And on Friday, we received a list of criteria in order to be considered homebound. And so January 8th to January 22 is, waiting for the list of criteria after we've already submitted the list of residents who are waiting to get vaccinated that are 60 and above is not going to sit well with a lot of residents. And actually, I've received calls from residents from other villages. Fortunately, most of PD and yesterday MTM residents were vaccinated thanks to Dr. Hoa and AMC. That's volunteer service, so he'll decide when he's going to go to another village if he needs to or if he can, right? Because again, that's volunteer. But the difficulty here is that we've already sort of promised these residents vaccination, and now we have a criteria that we have to follow. And so I am asking Public Health to reconsider that. And so everyone that has been on that list since January 8 or up until January 21st really be considered for homebound vaccination, and everyone after that we follow the criteria that Public Health set. And the criteria is basic criteria of homebound, right? Being frail, being bound to a bed. But I think a lot of the issues before this was the beginning of the vaccination clinics that were long lines and being hot, and the Manamco just standing out there. So that was their reaction to being considered homebound, and that's quite understandable. But I think Public Health and their teams have done a lot better with the vaccination clinics, and there's a lot smoother, and there's more public or private clinics doing the vaccination. So that might be easier on them now. So those residents that are really considering themselves homebound because of those situations, I think they might want to reconsider going to a private clinic that they normally go to, because that would actually be quicker, or lining up again, because those services are a lot smoother these days.
Okay, let's just go back.
Number one.
Mayor, so basically you're saying that you have people in your village who were ready to get vaccinated who were homebound. And then after coming up with that list, the criteria came down a couple weeks later, and now you're saying that some of the Manumco who want to get the vaccine and are homebound do not meet the requirements released by Public Health?
That is correct. And so that's what we're hoping that Public Health will reconsider that criteria for those that were registered up until January 21st. And I think it's a possibility. These Manamco have already been put on a list, and like I said, somewhat promised vaccination because of their homebound status.
What's the difference? Because homebound, it's not rocket science. We know what homebound is. So how did the criteria change, whereas now you're seeing people who are homebound and were on a list maybe not even qualifying to get the vaccine?
So I don't know what changed. I think most mayors were waiting for the criteria from Public Health in order to collect the names. But again, we were given kind of a deadline so that Public Health can manage their scheduling. And so we tried to meet their schedule without waiting, or without the criteria. So now we're faced with this criteria, and hopefully we can work that out with Public Health. But I think I wanted to mention it because those Manamco who are hoping for homebound but are still able to, still mobile and still able to go into their doctors, I think they need to get out and call their doctors, their medical clinics, and see if they can get vaccinated, or Rexall, like like you guys announced earlier.
Did you say you got the criteria Friday?
That's
Finally?
correct. We got it Friday.
So what
and
is
I
the
sent it out to
criteria?
all the mayors.
So what is the
Um,
criteria?
The criteria, I have it here. Just a moment. So basically, like I said, it's real simple. It's bedbound, frail, and homebound by reasons of illness or incapacitating disability. So it's, like I said, it's kind of straightforward, right, to be homebound. But like I said, most of the residents that called us to be placed on the list were afraid to line up in the long lines of the hot sun and that sort of thing. So hopefully that doesn't create too much of a problem, and hopefully the monks that are listening do call their clinics or line up in the vaccination clinics that are sponsored by the government. Which
is that the message kind of going out from the mayor's council, like everybody who is homebound but maybe not? This sounds as homebound, go to the clinic and get it.
Definitely yes, because it's going to be quicker, because public health is still scheduling the homebound vaccinations, and if you're going to wait for them, it'll just be a longer process.
You don't sound too happy about it, Mayor.
Do you have an idea how many homebound that didn't know the criteria when they were signed up it affects?
I don't have a number, but there's approximately 2,000 homebound. We deliver about 2,000 meals, so that's what we're basing our numbers on. So it's potentially a large problem, and we're hoping to.
You're basically saying if you get a homebound meal, you should meet the criteria for homebound vaccination.
That's correct. Yes, right. That's correct.
Do you guys send a letter? What to public health or?
No, well, I just communicated directly with the director, and hopefully we can get that resolved soon enough.
What was that conversation like? Because I know you're a good communicator.
Well, I think it's positive. I'm just waiting on actual word that they're going to accept all the Manamco that are registered since the January 21st to receive their vaccination homebound. So hopefully that we'll get some good news today. Mm-hmm. But again, I just wanted the Manamco to know that are on the list, that are waiting, that if they're able to get to their clinic, they should probably get to their clinic, because that might get them the vaccination quicker.
All right.
So basically, if you're homebound, you're in Manamco, you're in a wheelchair, but you're not bedridden, get up and go to the vaccine clinic.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the.
Again, I'm just trying to get ahead before, I know that most of the mayors are trying to call their constituents, and, so hopefully that works out for them, that they get to, get in touch with their residents and speak to them personally. But it's going to be, like I said, there's approximately 2,000 homebound.
Did you talk to the gov? Because, as a nurse, I'm pretty sure something like this would concern her. Or did it get up that high yet?
It's one of the topics to talk about today for sure. Yes. Okay. Hopefully we get resolution today.
Well, keep us posted, Mayor.
I will. I do want to say, though, from our last conversation, that we've made some headway on the stray animals. I know that's not a hot topic for a lot of people, but for others it is. GAIN is now accepting the animals from the mayor's offices and animal control. So Mayor Paco worked on that with GAIN and animal control last week, and we're now doing a lot better with collecting the dogs and turning them in to GAIN, and the cats if we're able to. So that's big. We haven't been able to do that for almost a year now. Wow. So I'm glad that's moving forward. And like I said, we promised the recycling POs by the end of January, so we should be getting them this week. I did see them on Friday, so most of the mayors should have them by this week. So that's a good thing.
Mayor, can you tell us anything about cashing out of the leave for the mayor's council, any mayors or any of the staff? Because we're trying to track a story, but I'm not sure if it's happened yet. We know that Angel Saban had said that Adelup was trying to find the money to cash out employees' leave. And then maybe if you could clarify what happens in between elections, because I heard that employees get to cash out their leave and then they get rehired under the same mayor. And I know that it's done in the legislature too, but I'm just wondering what's the status of that for this year.
So yes, it's that is what happens at the end of a mayoral term. All the employees have to resign, and then if the mayor decides to keep them on, they, they're of course they're rehired. And of course, when an employee resigns, they are able to receive their unused annual leave up to 320 hours. So that's what Angel was talking about, and the money was identified, and so the employees will be receiving that. But that's definitely not our priority. Our priority was to get out the recycling revolving fund money first. So it has not actually been processed yet.
So I guess just, I mean, is that justified? So let's say, like you, for example, if you're going to keep the same staff because you were reelected, and I'm assuming you are, do they necessarily have to resign and cash out the leave, or could they just stay on the payroll, or is it a procedural thing?
They don't. Well, they have to resign because this is a new term, right? Or it's the end of the old term, and then they're rehired in the beginning of the new term. And yes, I believe that our staff do deserve the cash out of the annual leave, because our staff, our mayoral staff, work more than the 80 hours that they're paid. They don't get any increases. They don't have any increments throughout the term, and they work hard just like everyone else does. So they are deserving of the payout.
Right. I mean, is it prudent fiscally? I mean, is this something that we can afford? And is there an alternative? Would the alternative be like, okay, guys, go on leave for 2 weeks or whatever?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, with these times, right, we have to consider that. But prudent, if the money is available and the money is identified based on our needs, I think it is something that we can pay out, which we have identified. And are there alternatives? Definitely. There's definite alternatives, like the compensatory time. So they can actually do comp time and work or take the leave instead of coming into work. And so most mayors do apply that.
How much?
So we try our best,
right.
All the 19 districts.
How much are we talking about total that will be paid out for that? I
believe it's about, I don't know the actual, but closer to 800,000.
Are there any
for all the 19 districts? That's for the about 230 employees.
And any mayors, do you guys get leave?
That's correct, yes. The mayors and the vice mayors are entitled as well.
So any mayors, vice mayors cashing out the leave too?
I believe all the ones I believe everyone will be, except for those that are incoming, correct.
And so that's 800,000.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. But I do have to say, though, that, I do have to say, though, the one exciting thing that I wanted to talk about was the GUMA project that we're working on. It's Guam Unique Merchandise and Arts. And so that nonprofit is actually helping us, and I'm really excited about it. And it's to develop community commerce. And so we're hoping, and then I know there's some senators that are working out there on some other bills and some legislation to actually boost community commerce. And so I'm excited about it. We had majority of the mayors attend our organizational meeting, if you would consider that, last week. And most are on board with creating this sort of cottage business within the communities. And so, that will not only provide jobs for our people, but it'll, definitely bring out all the homemade bakers, the home farmer, the craftsmen that we have out there. We know that there's a lot of unemployment now, and those that are underemployed, but they all have skills and crafts, and we want to hopefully get them out to either begin a process of business or actually enhance their current business or their current trade so that they're profitable, and in turn the communities will be profitable, and we'll all it'll work out for everyone. So that's where we're going to be meeting. We're having our strategic planning meeting in a couple of weeks with all the mayors, so hopefully all the 19 districts will be involved in some type of community commerce so that we can get things going in the villages. So
Cool.
we're excited about that.
That sounds pretty neat. Mayor, can you stand by just for a sec? We're KUAM FM. I got any Guam to our viewers on KUAM TV. Jump over to the Facebook live feed, and we do have some football, Jay.
Yep. And we will get you up to speed on what is going on right now. In the NFL, it is the conference championship right now. Of course, the NFC championship is being played in the very, very unfriendly confines to visitors of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Very, very cold there, but the home team in Titletown is finding themselves down. Tampa Bay on top of the Packers, 28-17, and the AFC Championship, where you have the Bills visiting Arrowhead to take on the defending world champ Chiefs. That's at 9:40. That's going to be live on KUM TV 11.
All right, there you go. So, viewers on KUAM TV, my name is Chris.
I'm Sabrina.
Hasta adios. And we're back. Well, so is Sabrina and Mayor Alig. We're interviewing Mayor Jesse Alig here, the president of the Mayor's Council of Guam. I know Sabrina had a question for you regarding that OPA audit.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if you had a reaction to the audit.
Which audit are you referring to?
The OPA audit on the COVID differential pay. Because I think some mayors
Some did,
received it and
some didn't.
and some didn't.
Yeah.
And
Correct. Well, I have to say that the mayors and vice mayors that received the pay, we did get direction and we did get the okay from the Department of Administration. So those that did receive the pay, I don't believe acted out of any kind of malice or malintent. I know that they did go through the process, and of course, DOA is our processing center, and they did confirm that it was in fact okay to receive that pay. So
no,
I don't.
No, I was just
I support
surprised.
the mayors and the vice mayors that received the pay for sure.
Yeah, I
because
was.
not only did they work hard for it, but we did receive the approval for it.
No, I was just surprised that not at all of
Yeah.
all of the mayors, vice mayors got the pay, considering how you guys have been basically on the front line of the pandemic with everything you guys have done since March. So yeah,
Well,
I just
those
thought it was
that did
interesting.
not get the pay, they have their own reasons, and I believe, I think there's probably 5 that did not receive the pay or did not accept the pay.
What was the conversation like there? Because I know I want to say we had Mayor Jesse Gogwe. Did he get the pay?
I cannot confirm if it was Mayor Gogwe, but I do know it was Mayor Doris from Inarahan, former Mayor Doris from Inarahan, and Mayor Frankie Salas from Asan Maina. I know those 2 for sure, but I can't confirm. It's possible that it was Mayor Gogwe as well.
But anyway, one of those
Of
mayors
course.
was like, "Oh boy, that's our job. I'm not going to take anything extra." Was that kind of like, was there a divide in the council with some mayors who felt like, "Hey, this is what we're elected to do," and others who felt like we need to be compensated for this risk? That's a real risk. I'm just asking.
Yeah, well, I think for those that did receive it, of course, they, that was their justification, was that it was a big risk to be out there, and we really were all out there. So that was their biggest justification, and rightfully so, because we all were out there, and we're still out there, still delivering the meals and still doing COVID work. Those that did not receive it, I can't respond for those that did not. I can say for myself, I did not take it only because I considered it as overtime pay and as emergency pay, as if it was a typhoon. And we typically are not eligible for that pay. So because we're not eligible for that pay, I personally felt that we weren't eligible for this type of pay.
It was interesting. The audit with the auditor BJ Cruz had said this would be illegal to give unclassified employees bonus pay. But then he said the federal appropriation made it legal. So it was like illegal, legal.
Right. I saw that. And of course, again, I defer to a Department of Administration because, again, they're the ones that process our payroll, and they're the ones that, tell us what we can and cannot do. And because they gave us the approval to pay it out, of course, that's what we did. And of course, the money was there for them receive the pay.
How about that letter from former Jotnia Mayor Jesse Blas? Were you able to see that letter?
I was able to see it. Well, the judge did ask him to write that letter, so he wrote the letter, and I just hope that the people of Zotnia, are able to move on with their current mayor. Mayor Bill Kenga is great. I know he's working real hard, so I hope that the people of Zotnia find confidence in their new mayor.
I'm trying to find it. Do you have it, Rick?
Let me see.
So many letters. That's one thing about COVID, is it brought back letter writing. Oh, here we go.
COVID brought back a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And that's, I know you talk about other things, but I'm so excited about the cottage industries, and I think that
I am too. Hello, I'm a Nancy maker.
Well, yeah, and you guys did the whole baking and dessert deal, and
Yeah.
you and Bree,
Bree's the baker. I don't like baking because it's like use precise measurements. I'm more of a put some more in there.
Well,
baking, it's like you do
there
that.
you go. That's craftsmanship.
Right. Yeah. So this letter from and you're right, Judge Francis Tidenko Gatewood of the district court had asked former Jotnia Mayor Jesse Blas to write a letter apologizing to the people of Jotnia. So here is that letter. To the people of Jotnia, I wish I were there with you so that I can speak to you. However, my circumstances only allow for me to write. Therefore, I extend my sincere gratitude that you have taken the time to read this, especially given the difficult times that continue to face the people of our village and the island that we all love so much. I sincerely hope that everyone in Jotnia is doing well. More importantly, I hope that everyone is staying safe in this pandemic. I assure you that all the memories that we have made together, I hold them close to my heart. I hope that you will do the same. I promise that my love for Jotnia will be with me always. I believe we can all agree that we have made a mistake at one point or another in our lives. With that being said, I will tell you that I have made a serious mistake. I have accepted my responsibility and the consequences that follow. As your mayor, I have broken the trust and respect that you have honored me with. While I am not perfect and will never be, I hope to one day mend what I have broken. I regret what I have done, and I am truly sorry. Some may say that being sorry is not enough, that humbly expressing dispensa cannot restore what has been lost. I will tell you that being sorry is an opening to a doorway of lasting change. I read a Bible scripture that I would like to share with you, as it has helped me during my term of imprisonment. It's from Lamentations 3, chapter 3, verse 23, and it says, "Great is his faithfulness, his mercies begin afresh each day." This is a message of hope and forgiveness. In closing, I will tell you that Jotnia will always be my home, and her people in my heart, our village, will always be a source of hope and will continue to bring a smile to my face. As a fellow prisoner recently reminded me, he told me, "Hey, Mayor, there's only one rule." I asked, "What rule is that?" The prisoner responded, "Jotnia rules." Till we meet again, I miss you, Jotnia. Si Jules Masi, Jesse M. Blas, former mayor, Jotnia. Well, I guess as far as, accepting and helping meth go into cluster mailbox apology letters go, it wasn't that bad. What do you think of that ending, though? It's kind of a curveball ending, right?
I'm glad that, I'm glad he still has pride in Zotnia.
I mean, really? You're going to do the Jotnia rules and it's like, put it a bumps, Jotnia rules, hey. Okay. I don't expect you to comment on it, but I heard that when his sentence is over, he's probably going to be over at the port as a program coordinator. And don't even just say it. Come on. Mayor, anything in closing?
Have a great week. It's going to be a long week for all of us, so
It
have
is,
a great
yeah.
week.
Let us know about the homebound. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Mayor.
We have something else coming on this week with the mayor. So, of course, next week is our regular meeting. So, we'll hopefully have some updated news for everyone by next week as well.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor.
Right on.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Right
You
on.
too.
Adios.
The Cliffs Notes version of that letter. Hey, nobody's perfect. Yeah, I messed up. Jotnia rules. It is what it is. I've seen it all this year. seen
This
it all.
year. This year.
I mean, it's only 2021, January. I've already seen it all. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with Mark Scott of the Guam Guard. He is the PIO, and they're doing what's called an operational pivot. I believe that's what it's called in military speak.
And also, if you're just joining us, the Guam Police Department announced that it has launched another death investigation. There was a shooting that occurred last night around 9:30, or just before 9:30. A male victim was transported to the Guam Regional Medical City. He later was